Did you take any classified documents with you from the White House?
I did not.
Roughly a dozen government documents were uncovered at the home of former Vice President Mike Pence.
Classified documents were found in the home of former Vice President Mike Pence just about 11 days after he slammed President Joe Biden for having classified documents from the time when he was vice president in his home. So, let's go over this, and I'll also discuss if this matters at all. Because, spoilers, it doesn't. And I'll tell you why it matters in Trump's case, why it is actually different. And I discussed this in a previous video, but I'll briefly go over that again. But first here, before I get to these clips, and Mike Pence, Mike Pence on Fox News 11 days ago slamming Biden. That's fun to watch now. Let's first get to what was discovered here. So the classified documents were discovered at Pence's new home in Carmel, Indiana. Or is it Caramel? Whatever the hell it is. Carmel, Indiana. By a lawyer for Pence in the wake of the revelations about classified material discovered in President Joe Biden's private office and residence, the sources said. The discovery comes after Pence has repeatedly said he did not have any classified documents in his possession. It is not yet clear what the documents are related to or their level of sensitivity or classification. So that's pretty much the extent of it here. Pence's lawyers were the ones that found the documents. Very similar to Biden's case. It was the lawyers that discovered the documents and turned them over to the National Archives. Exact same thing here. So before I get to the amazing Fox News clip, here is Pence back in November talking to ABC News about the case where Trump had classified documents. And here is Pence reacting to whether or not he has classified documents.
Did you take any classified documents with you from the White House?
I did not.
Do you see any reason for anyone to take classified documents with them leaving the White House?
Well, there'd be no reason to have classified documents, particularly if they were in an unprotected area.
Well, there were classified documents, and they were in, as you report, an unprotected area.
Just a wonderful back-to-back there with the CNN commentary. Yeah, that is actually the extra piece I should have mentioned here. It's also in this article here, that they were found in an unprotected area. I think they were taped up. So the classified material was stored in boxes that first went to Pence's temporary home in Virginia before they were moved to Indiana. According to sources, the boxes were not in a secure area, but they were taped up and were not believed to have been opened since they were packed, according to Pence's attorney. Once the documents were discovered, the sources said they were placed inside a safe located in the house. All right, so before I get to the distinction here between Pence and Biden and Donald Trump, let's enjoy some clips from this interview on Fox Business with Larry Kudlow. Again, this is 11 days ago, and here is Mike Pence reacting to the discovery that Joe Biden had classified documents at his residence.
The handling of classified materials and the nation's secret is a very serious matter. And as a former vice president of the United States, I can speak from personal experience about the attention that ought to be paid to those materials when you're in office and after you leave office. And clearly, that did not take place in this case. I don't ever want to diminish the importance of protecting classified documents and the nation's secret. And there was a very formal process during my time at the White House to see to that. As a former vice president, Joe Biden had no authority to declassify documents or to retain them in his possession. And so I do think that's a specious distinction here, and one that that really should inform the inquiry going forward. Larry, before we left the White House, the attorneys on my staff went through all the documents at both the White House, in our offices there, and at the Vice President's residence to ensure that any documents that needed to be turned over to the National Archives, including classified documents, were turned over. I must tell you that the fact that it took more than 2 months for the American people to learn that Joe Biden had taken classified materials to his personal residence when the President of the United States was subject to a search warrant and a special counsel, and the immediate disclosure of that, I presume, to the American people. These are questions the American people deserve answers to. But we've made a step of progress today for equal treatment before the law, and I welcome the appointment of a special counsel.
Yes, well, likewise, same way.
Just incredible. I wonder if Mike Pence is going to welcome the appointment of a special counsel in his case. It's the exact same situation. Documents discovered by his lawyer, turned over to the National Archives. That's what happened in the Biden case. That's what happened in the Pence case. The Trump case is much different. And Pence knows this, despite him lying through his teeth in this interview about how the American people want to know why was Donald Trump raided when Joe Biden had these documents. Because Donald Trump, for 8 months, would not give documents back that he was asked to give back. Then his lawyers pretended to give all the documents back, yet they didn't. So they had to go in and get the rest of the documents. This is a very different situation. So I did a video on the Biden one here where media invents Biden scandal, where they're trying to treat this as a serious issue when it isn't. Just like in the case of Pence, this doesn't matter. This is not a serious issue. The difference, as I point out in that video as well, is with this. So Trump is under investigation for willful retention of classified records because he ignored direct requests from National Archives officials, a grand jury subpoena, and even a personal visit from the DOJ's top counterintelligence official. The FBI seized the documents pursuant to a search warrant only after they discovered that Trump's attorneys lied to them and that documents had been moved inside Mar-a-Lago after their visit. That is why Trump was so-called raided, when really it was just the FBI going in to get the documents that they had been trying to get, that Trump, for some reason, did not want to give back. I am looking forward to how Mike Pence defends this. Now, this news is kind of breaking, so I'm going to guess at what the defense will be from the Mike Pence side. They will say, well, as soon as we discovered them, we gave them back right away. Unlike Joe Biden, who waited 2 months. No, they were given back in the case of Joe Biden as well. It just wasn't public for a few months. But that's going to be his defense. It's that, well, as soon as they found them, we all knew about it. We gave them back immediately. Both cases, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. These documents, this is not like they were trying to get these documents back, the National Archives, and then, Biden would give them back or Pence wouldn't give them back. No, they both gave them back in both situations. It's Trump that is the outlier here. But we will see how this all plays out, and if there is going to be an appointment of a special counsel in the case of Mike Pence as well, because the fact that there is a Biden situation, there should be now for Mike Pence.